So I'm realizing that this is probably going to be the most awkwardly filmed episode I've ever done, mostly because of the lighting. So, there we go. Hi, okay, that was a weird adjustment. I was gonna make the joke that it's like the only thing, like you can't see my face. It's like witness protection, like you can't. I'm all blacked out. Face is all blacked out, and then the bosom is like properly put on display with the light. But anyway, so I'm creating this video to show off this LED grow light I got. Now in my indoor growing of various things, I've tried all manner of lights. I've tried fluorescent tubes, I've tried using LED bulbs, I've tried high intensity discharge fixtures. In that case, it was a switchable blast between metal halide and high pressure sodium. Now I gotta say the high intensity discharge, the HID light, was probably the best for growing. It put out a lot of light. I think it was 54,000 lumens, and I grew 8 peppers. It was probably the best aquaponics setup I ever had, and it was just gorgeous. It was just gorgeous, and I grew so much stuff. But the light also consumed a ton of energy, and most of that was wasted as heat. That thing easily heated up a room to, in the middle of winter, it'd be like sweltering because of that darn light. So, not the most energy efficient. So I mentioned in a previous video about me trying to grow out on our sunroom. Unfortunately, that sunroom gets really, really cold. In fact, it's so cold I can barely even grow cold hardy crops out there. They're alive, but they're not really doing much. A lot of my more sensitive plants are dying out there. And we're supposed to have a particularly cold, it's going to be probably the coldest winter it's been in a really long time in this part of the world. So I'm thinking more about indoor, like indoor growing. And if I'm going to do that, I need light. And very sensitive about using electricity. Just in general because of the cost, but also because I'm trying to put myself in the headspace of trying to power my home off solar panels. Because that's a project down the line, probably in a year or two. But still, I'd like to be in that headspace and be thinking that way. I'm amused by the light setup. This is not intentional, by the way. Despite what my channel is called, this lighting was not intentional. It was not supposed to be this inappropriate. But it's kind of funny, so I'm going to continue with it. So, if I'm going to be doing this, I need to explore LED. LED, the red and blue sort of LED. I've done LED white bulbs before, but this is like your standard red and blue, though this fixture also has a couple white LEDs in it. It's supposed to be the most energy efficient because you're not wasting energy producing not only the LEDs, which are the most efficient light source possible, but you're also not wasting energy producing light in the yellowish, greenish part of the spectrum, which plants don't use a whole lot of. That's not their primary. That's not where the chlorophyll is not responding specifically or as much to those wavelengths. Now there is some debate about that. Some people say that plants need the whole spectrum because they evolved to be out in the full spectrum of the daylight, the sun. But I thought I gotta at least try it. Now, you can't really see in the video here, but I'm just growing a couple of things. So nothing really fancy. I'm growing some catnip for our cats and to give away as a gift. And the other trays are actually 3 different kinds of alpine strawberries. I'm going to do a whole, once those get more established, I will talk more about that. I'm basically they've just sprouted. When they get a little bit bigger, I'm going to put them in pots and actually have them on the south-facing windows and grow them in window planters indoors so that we can have strawberries in the winter. But I'll do a video on that once they get a little bit more impressive because right now they're basically just sprouts and not much to look at. So I got this light off of Amazon. It's basically one of those sort of like cheapo ones. And by cheapo I mean not super cheapo, but cheapo. So this costs $90 I think on Amazon, $90 US. And it had very good ratings, and it was definitely affordable, and I had a little bit of cash from selling the Pygora goats, so it was like now's the time to get one. And I got the smallest one they have. This is a 300 watt. They go significantly larger. And supposedly, this is about on par with a 250 watt high intensity discharge. Now the high intensity discharge that I previously owned was a 400 watt. So this is less than that. But I just wanted to get this one to see if the company that makes these is making a quality product. And really this one, I'm mostly just going to use it for starting seeds. So I don't need too much power. But if I like it, and it turns out that this is reliable, and this is showing me that this sort of LED fixture is the way to go, then I'll invest in more. I'll invest in bigger. We have fun here on Cleavage and Crops. I'll invest in a bigger fixture. I think they have, this particular company, I think does it up to like 1600 watt. And we're talking watt equivalent. The actual draw on this is not 300 watts. I think it's like 190 watts. With LEDs, it's usually about half because they don't run LEDs at full wattage rating because that's, you would just burn them out. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll definitely keep you updated. I wanted to give you just a quick look about what it's all about. I was impressed because this does seem solid. It's got a huge fan in it and a huge heatsink, and it's staying cool. Like this is not, there's no heat coming off this at all. And it has attachments so you can daisy chain several lights, which I thought was really cool. And it was packaged really well, which is a weird thing to give praise on, but I bought a lot of things off Amazon that were basically just chucked in a box, and this actually looked like it came directly from the manufacturer, and it had a nice little like foam insert. So in general, I'm impressed thus far. I've literally only had it running for a day, so I can't comment on how well it actually works in terms of growing things. But like I said, I'll keep you updated, and I'm hoping it works out, because people say this is the way to go, and it's worth a shot, you know? Alright, well that's all there was for this video. Love to hear your comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I try to put out an episode every week, and I'm actually doing pretty well on that, considering I film these months in advance. So I've got quite a string of videos in the chamber. Anyway, ramble. Bye.